my aim over the next 10 minutes is to demonstrate to you how we have used data across our organisation to bring our excellent journalism in front of more people. I'm going to give you a live demo as well in a little bit. But an intro first. So The Guardian first published a newspaper in the UK nearly 200 years ago. So we're not quite a startup. Today, we're owned by the Scott Trust, who was established to sustain our independent journalism in perpetuity. That means we don't have a proprietor, we don't have shareholders, we don't have investors. That empowers us to do things like report Edward Snowden's shocking revelations of how prepared our governments are to spy on us. It also means that we're not fearful of the transition beyond our traditional print base. In fact, we view that as a massive opportunity for us. 20 years ago, we were the 8th biggest newspaper in the UK. Today, I'll correct math on this, we're the 3rd largest newspaper website in the world, not the 4th. Last month, so in March, we reported 100 million unique browsers worldwide. That's up from just under half that 2 years earlier. So it's a great opportunity for us. But 2 years ago, very few people in our organisation looked at traffic data. Senior management would get their monthly reports and do stuff based on that. And the few people inside our organisation that did more than that would battle with incomprehensible reports that came out hours after the event with a massive lag on them. This is simply not good enough for an organisation whose future inevitably lies digitally. So this tool evolved out of a hack day project that I worked on. But critically, that evolution, and that started a couple of years ago, critically, that evolution was not based on what technology I fancy playing with, or our techies fancy playing with. It wasn't based on what we as engineers thought might be interesting to play with. It was based on us going down and sitting with our editorial staff, our journalists, and our editors, and finding out from them what data we could present to them that they would be able to action and learn from and change their behaviour based upon. Today, we have our own tracking code on our website and on all our mobile apps that pushes all of the events into an Elasticsearch cluster that we run on Amazon AWS. And this dashboard here, that I really am going to show you in a moment, which is written in Scala with Play Framework, entirely is driven by querying off that Elasticsearch cluster. And critically, if you access our site now, by now that data is showing up in that dashboard. The typical lag is less than 5 seconds. Okay, let's take a look. So this is a live demo. This is the real system. This is what people in our organisation use. This is live data, real data. And hopefully the internet connection is going to work. If you could pause your BitTorrents, that'd be awesome. Actually, so on the homepage, you see that big green box halfway down. This was one of the key things actually early on, which is actually editors and journalists want to find the content that they produce. So we put the simple page in here, just place the URL in, you get to it. Or if you drag that icon up to your bookmark bar, it's a little bookmark that will take you straight there. So let's have a look at this article. This is an article we published yesterday, this morning, which is about our science, one of our science journalists, the beauty of a story that came out yesterday around drinkable sunscreen. So this isn't like normal sunscreen you're able to drink as well. This is like, you could take a little cupful of this too, I think it's like 5 millilitres of this sunscreen, and that's it, and it's magic, and you don't have to put sunscreen on anymore, and it will keep it there. I'm going to get a little bit distracted and read you the first article, the first sentence here, or the second sentence, which is, to say the product described deviates from accepted science would be an understatement. Imagine you program your sat nav to take you to central London, and instead it directs you to one of Neptune's moons. That's the sort of deviation we're talking about. So it's a really, really big debunk of how rubbish that story, how that original story actually was. Okay, but let's get the buttons up. Let's get the view no phone button and have a look and see where this has got traffic. Okay, so we can see at the top there, we've got 35,000 page views on this so far since we published it this morning. We posted it on our Guardian Facebook account. We see actually, so around here, we've got some referrers from the Guardian. So that's internal promotion, there's some stuff I don't know about, a bit from Google, a chunk from Twitter, and a chunk from Facebook. You can see actually most of the UK-based traffic, and actually a surprisingly high amount of desktop traffic to that. Let's go down a little bit more. We have a look at some tweets here. So if we look at this one here, this is Dean Burnett, this is the journalist who wrote it. So one of the reasons we put these top tweets down here is it enables journalists who've been encouraged to have their own account and wrote their own work to work out actually did this work. So we can see actually Dean Burnett's he got about 1,500 click-throughs on that. We'll come back to the other one in a second. We can look at search terms that we're honest. We're not getting a lot of Google traffic on there. And over on the right, we've got onward traffic. So that's a really good example of data that's actionable. Right. This is just showing, actually, the people that came to this page, how many clicks on something else. So the dark blue on that bar shows how many people clicked onto another article. The light blue shows how many people clicked onto another index page. And the grey, people who didn't go anywhere. Right. So we're doing this bar here is really, really bad. But not that surprising because I don't think we've got a lot of content that really relates that well to drinkable sunscreen. So, you know, in this case, it's okay. But let's have a look at this, as well as that, let's have a look at this chart over here. So this chart is kind of the key to understanding the journey of an article. So we publish a few hundred items of content every day, and as you look at these graphs of where traffic has come from, you get a really good understanding of actually different options and different ways of promoting your content. So this one here, you see we published it right at the far left there. So the times are in UK times. This is actually a live chart, but I've kept my time zone to UK. You see we published it about 7 o'clock this morning in the UK time. We got a bit of Twitter traffic straight away, so that was almost certainly because the journalists tweeted straight away. The dark blue, you can see we've raised it a little bit in our front, down the bottom. Then here, at about 10 o'clock, that was when we posted it on our Facebook page. Now, we've got a big spike from that and it's still ongoing. That's one really interesting thing that we've been able to do is by watching what happens and how effectively our posts work, we've been able to tune the way we post to make sure they appeal well to our readers. So in this case, actually, yeah, we've got a good click-through rate from our Facebook page. Right over here at 3:30 UK time, we've got a massive Twitter spike. So let's have a look at what that was. If we click on it, you go see, and actually, you see the tweets, there it is. So it's Dara O'Brien, who's a UK-based comedian, saying drinkable sunscreen gets properly trashed, and it does, it's a great article. But being able to understand, I mean, actually seeing how other people have related our content, whether that's got resonance amongst the community, is quite often we can find ourselves inspired by a different line that other people have taken over. Okay, but that's so much about just looking at one article. What if I'm responsible for a larger part of the site? Okay, so we have this top 20. So this is a live view showing over the last 3 minutes. On the left, the content pages that are most popular, and on the right, the non-content pages that are most popular. So you can see actually on the top right, we have 13.7%, so that's our UK and rest of the world homepage. Got 13.7% of our traffic in the last 3 minutes. What I can also do is there's a whole load of filtering that I can do on this to zoom down and try and understand it better. So let's start on the editor, comments free, and let's just have a look at the comment articles that have done well. So it's a really simple, easy way for editors and people who are responsible for a wider part of their site to understand what's doing well and what's not. And I'm going to show you one quick thing very quickly. Another thing we can do here, if we can build my traffic map, this is just again using Elasticsearch geohash aggregation, a view of our traffic spread across the world on a Google heat map. So you can see actually, yeah, by default we've got a big load of traffic focused on our traditional base in the UK. Actually, that's very concentrated on the UK and Europe there. We actually have about a third of our traffic from the UK, a third from the US, and a third from the rest of the world. But let's have a look and break that down by referrer. So if we actually go and have a look at Facebook traffic today, actually Facebook traffic's got a bit wider geographic spread. And I normally have to explain to UK audience who that Drudge is and what the Drudge report is all about. I'm guessing you guys all know, and I guess you're all secret readers. But let's have a look at Drudge. And Drudge, funny enough, obviously has a very US-focused audience, and I can see some sneaky guys in San Francisco there that are following him as well. So that's a very quick demo of that. This has grown organically across our organisation, now used by over 600 people internally. It's changed our attitude and our culture towards data. There's a trend nowadays towards employing growth hackers. Well, that's great, but our experience is it's better to empower every single person in the organisation to growth hack by giving them the data so that they can understand. Thank you very much for listening.